Good morning and happy Friday, everyone. Thank you for being here. So in my last video, I had mentioned that I would like to work with another shade of pink background, but I wanted to add a little bit of yellow to it. And if you haven't seen that video, I will link it at the end of this one, so you can click it and go watch that one so that you're in the loop. But basically what I wanted to do was to brighten up the pinks a little bit, because it just felt a little bit drab to me. And I had full intentions of using that saffron yellow that you see above that pink that I'm just using. And I forgot. So when you're in the zone, sometimes, your plans go out the window, I guess. So I wanted to try again. And I also wanted to bring in some gold. Now that gold is from a different palette, and I try to list everything in the description box that you can find below this video. So if you are interested in all the materials that I'm using, please go and have a look down there. So I brought the yellow and the gold in at the very beginning, not only so that I wouldn't forget to use it, but also because I wanted those lighter shades to be more in the background and make sure that that yellow can then mix with the pinks that I'm later putting on top. Other than that, I didn't really have a plan as to what this should look like. I was also working on a slightly smaller scale because this was just a practice piece, and I didn't think that I was going to post it, because I just really wanted to see what the pinks and that yellow would end up looking. Here I started to realize that the shape I was creating was too boring and too rectangular. So I started adding a little bit more in the corners, and also using the darker colors, the darker pinks now. Generally, I make sure that I soften the edges a little bit, not everywhere, but every now and then I would go over with just some water and loosen up those edges a little bit. Sometimes it's nice to have some sharp edges, and I use them to my advantage when I start doodling. But I also like to just run a little bit of water along the sides and soften them up a little bit. I felt like the whole piece could use a little bit more interest, and so I dipped my brush back into the colors and just kind of dabbed the tip of my brush around the paper. But this paper dries, the paints dry very quickly. I don't know if it's because it's 100% cotton. So I found myself needing a little bit more water, and that's when I started just spraying it with a little bit more water from my spray bottle. I like to move the paper around when there is a bit of water on it, and just let the colors do what it does when it's wet. And that sometimes gives me some really interesting backgrounds too. And then I almost forgot that I wanted to also use this bright pink, which I took from the 48 color set from the Kuretake watercolors. So yeah, I almost forgot, and I luckily remembered and put it in. And that gave me some really cool movement. So I was very happy about that. Sometimes I wait to add more darker colors until the page has dried, but this time I just went for it and added some more into the wetter parts and tilted the paper again back and forth and to the sides to help it move along. And then I just set it aside and let it completely dry. But overall, I was pretty happy with how it turned out. So it has dried now and I am ready to put my lines over it. I have been staring at this for quite a while and I'm trying to figure out, does it have enough going on in the background? And I had prepped my colors, sprayed them down, ready to add some more on top. But then I stopped myself because I don't want the background to be too busy. Because once we put the lines over it, it'll get busy enough. So let's just do the lines, I guess. Let's do the lines. I have prepped a little bit of the sepia acrylic ink in here. And by prepping, I mean I added the sepia and then I just diluted it with water. And just so that the lines can stay lighter and not as dark as, where's the other one that I did? I should be more prepared when I do these videos. Here it is. So this is the sepia right out of the bottle. And then this one was a sepia with water added. And if you watched my last video where I did this one, I liked that the lighter sepia brown matched the softness of the pink a lot more. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm stalling. So this is my little tool that I got, and it's called a ruling pen. I don't know if the camera will pick this up. It says it right here, ruling pen. Wait, there it is. Ruling pen. And it basically has these metal pieces and this little screw here, and by unscrewing it you can open up the tip, and by closing it the tip will close, and you can actually close it all the way, and then in its open stage it just opens up about this much. The reason why I wanted this one instead of a pen with a nib is because I have the masking tape and I can use this with the masking tape as well. I saw somebody do it on YouTube, of course, and I really liked how it applied the masking tape. So I got this one, but I also got a pen with different nibs that is coming, I think, this Thursday. So when I dip this in here, right now there's nothing in it, See, it's empty, and then I dip it, and now there is a small amount stuck inside. We'll just give it a try. I haven't really figured out yet how to do it. So it's a fun little tool. It's something else, something different. I'm actually going to close it a little bit because this line was pretty thick, and I want to keep them on the thinner side. So let's see. It almost looks like branches, doesn't it? I'm still kind of trying to figure out, does it need a lot of pressure, or can I just let it flow out? It's fun, but it's also a little scary because, you know, you don't want to mess it up. So let's see. I like how it feathers out. I'm wondering if I can fix this guy. There. Like this. And then I just keep dipping it into here and loading it up again. Yeah, it's a little finicky. Have any of you used this tool before? I want to know. And if you did, let me know in the comments and send me some tips and tricks. All right, so the goal is to lay down a few lines, like main lines, and then do a little bit of, I don't know what it's called, feathering. Like, for example, go here and follow the, let me close this up all the way. Follow this line, but then, you know, kind of, it's still kind of, there you go. It's not doing what I want it to do. Maybe that's the beauty of it, because it's a little bit out of your control as to what the lines are gonna do. It's kind of nerve-wracking for us control freaks who are like to, you know, used to know where lines are going. There, that's a little bit better. And then like this. I'm a little sad that this first line got so thick, but there's nothing we can do about it now, so we're just gonna roll with it. Ooh, this one works really well. And of course now I'm running out of out of ink. Meh. No. nerve-wracking. Yeah, let's stop here. Close this up and don't forget to clean this right away. I will give it a good rinse once I'm done with this experiment. All right, I'm about to start doodling, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get really quiet again. So let me just show you what I will be using. I will be using the thinnest pens that I have because I want to keep this light and airy, and I don't want this to be filled with a bunch of black lines. So I'm gonna stick with the 005, the 01 and 03 if they cooperate. I might have to switch to my Faber-Castell ones, I don't know. And then I will use this gold pen, and of course I will use my acrylic paints for dotting and my trusty dotting tools. Where's the other one? Right here. My dotting tools that I have, and maybe some white pens, but I'm not sure.
All right, what do we think? So let me explain what happened here. I felt like it needed some more black because of these two areas. And so I decided I would put some black lines over here. And I wanted to kind of match this guy, I think. But it went all sideways. At least for me it did. And I tried shading and it just wasn't meshing with everything else that was going on. And so I decided to put some dots over it in the hopes that it would make it look better. And then I decided that I would just cover it up completely with dots instead. And I am much happier with this. I'm still not proud of this area, but that's okay. We're just gonna pretend it was all on purpose. And then I added some more of those dots up here just to kind of tie it all in. Yeah, let's just go with that, yeah? My favorite parts are these guys and these two. Absolutely love them. I love that the pen not working worked in this instance because it made me go over the lines again, and then I messed up because it wasn't working, and then I realized that it needed these thicker and thinner areas. I don't know, it just looks so cool. And it kind of ties in with these ones too, so it all works. It all works in the end. And I had done this one in one of my sketchbooks before, the travel sketchbook that I brought on my vacation. But as I was rounding out the corners, it felt like they wanted to twirl around this branch. And so I just went with it, guys. I just went with it. And I just think it's so much fun. There's so many fun little elements in this one. And because the background was a little bit boring, in as there wasn't as much going on, color-wise, like there wasn't a lot of shifting going on. Let me show you what I mean. With this one, I wanted some more dramatic colors in the background. And it kind of didn't work out for this one. And I was, like I said, contemplating whether I should add some more. And I cut out a lot of footage because I was literally sitting here for a few minutes just contemplating what to do with it. So in the end, it works out. Just go with your gut, because had maybe the background would have just been in the way of me creating this. Who knows? I will say though, this ruling pen is a bit of a struggle for me, and I have since received my nib pens. I don't know if that's the right word. You know, these ones. Like you can change out the nibs. So I've since gotten these, and I will work with these a little bit more. And I might just keep the ruling pen for when I use it for masking tape. When I use it for masking fluid. That's the one. But the background with the yellow and the gold, for me, works much better than what I did with my last one. I just feel like it needed something, even though there is gold in it and it looks great. It's just, there's not much going on. I should have brought something in to make it pop. You guys think completely otherwise, and I love you for all your comments that you left me on my previous video. So thank you for that. to me, this is still, whereas this one, I'm in love. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. Leave me a comment and let me know, because you always have the best comments and you're the most kindest audience. So I want to thank you for that. It just makes me so giddy to hear all your thoughts and read all your wonderful words of encouragement. So it strokes my ego and it keeps me want to put out more videos. So, keep doing what you're doing, because then you'll get lots more videos from me. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go because I chatted long enough and I really need this video to be put up today, because I promised. But thank you again so much for tuning in. I hope you had fun. I certainly did. And I will see you next week. Take care.